Villager trading is something every Minecraft player ends up using, especially if you don't want to fish for it or use an enchanting table forever. In this video, we'll go from trading coal for emeralds all the way to getting fully enchanted netherite armor with almost zero effort. Farmer. My old pal, the farmer villager, this guy is the backbone of the Emerald Trade Society and Society too. This guy is easily one of the best ways to get some juicy emeralds, but not only he is also one of the best sources of food trades in the game. To get a farmer villager, all you have to do is place down a composter near any unemployed villager, and bam, you will have one. But they also are one of the most common villagers to find around a village. You'll know you found one when you see their signature straw hat, which is worn by every farmer regardless of what biome they are from. The farmer will, to everyone's surprise, sell you mostly crops and food for emeralds, which means you can build automated farms to do the work for you because yay capitalization and make infinite money. Plus, he will even take beetroot from you, which is a miracle. Why would anyone pay for beetroot? Like the other villagers, if you let them turn into a zombie villager and cure them, you can get some pretty sweet deals. You can buy 4 pumpkin pies for 1 emerald. At expert level, you can buy suspicious stew, which with the new spear is actually a pretty viable food source. And if you get this villager to master level, it goes from pretty decent to trade hall approved because you can buy golden carrots at master level. Yeah, only the literal best food source in the game. S tier villager for sure. Leatherworker. The Leatherworker is the next victim. I mean, villager up next. This guy is, well, pretty lame. I mean, you can sell some leather to the guy, which is good if you like killing all your cows. Which, yes, I am judging. But regardless, there are way easier villagers to get emeralds from, and the stuff he gives out aren't much better. You can buy leather armor from him at pretty garbage rates. And if you for some reason get this guy to master level, he does sell saddles for a few emeralds. But considering you can craft those for just a few leather, this guy is full on just running a scam operation. Better to just ignore him, or use him as zombie bait for your farms. Completely useless villager. Fisherman. Fisherman, another basically useless villager. Yeah, I know there's a lot of them. The fisherman will buy raw fish for a few emeralds, which again is fine I guess, but it's just not efficient. It's better to just trade with the farmer or something, and he doesn't give much either. You can buy a bucket of cod or a campfire from him. I know riveting stuff. The only worthwhile trade he has is you can buy enchanted fishing rods from him. But even if you do fish, you have to get this guy all the way to master level to do that. And Mojang has decided to keep fishing as one of the most boring things you can possibly do in Minecraft. That people literally make AFK fishing farms that break the game rather than engage in the mechanic. Oh, and this guy has the audacity to sell 6 cooked cod for 6 raw cod and an emerald. I much rather use my furnace, thank you very much. Lava pits for this villager. Armorer. Next up, the Armorer. This guy is one of the best villagers, Mason approved. While this guy does charge some pretty hefty prices, his products actually are worth it. Like how he will sell you an iron chest plate for 9 emeralds, expensive, but hey, if you need protection, can't put a price on that. He will also sell you an emerald for 15 coal, but let's be real, that's an awful deal. But I guess even a great villager will still try to scam you at every opportunity if they can. To get this guy, you'll have to drop down a blast furnace near an unemployed villager, and they will suddenly gain the experience to craft the gear that will be the difference between your life and death. But hey, if he can do it, he can do it. Or she. We are gender inclusive around here. After you trade this guy up a little at apprentice level, you can sell a couple iron ingots for an emerald, another scam. You're a thin ice armorer. And a bell for 36 emeralds? Yeah. Basically, you get this guy for the armorer. Everything else is terrible. At expert is when he will sell some chainmail armor, which can be good if you're collecting, otherwise a skip. He will try to get a diamond for an emerald, which also is enough to qualify him for F tier. But at master tier, he will sell enchanted diamond gear, which is insanely good. If you have a good emerald farm and a couple of these guys leveled up, you can literally get infinite diamond gear easily. Java edition, this guy will sell up to 2 pieces of gear per villager, and on bedrock it will just be 1. Another point for the Java versus bedrock. Overall, this villager has some awful trades, but the gear pushes him up to one of the best villagers. Before we get into the next villagers, the Minecraft gods have noticed something. Statistically, most of you aren't subscribed, and they're not happy. So subscribe, or your villagers might start raising their prices. You've been warned. Butcher. Butcher is one of those villagers that looks mid at first, but is actually low-key solid if you set things up right. To get one, just place a smoker near an unemployed villager and boom, apron secured. The butcher buys raw chicken, pork chops, rabbit, and even sweet berries, which means if you have even a basic animal farm or a berry farm, you can turn that into steady emerald income without much effort. Early trades are simple food stuff like cooked pork chops and cooked chicken, which isn't exciting, but can be convenient early game. The real value is that he consistently buys easy to mass produce items, especially if you automate a chicken farm. He's not flashy, he's not selling enchanted diamond gear, but he's reliable. Not S tier, but definitely a solid B tier villager if you actually use farms instead of just wandering around punching cows. Cartographer. Cartographer is one of those villagers that feels kind of random until you realize he can actually be huge for exploration. To get one, just place a cartography table near an unemployed villager and you're good to go. Early on, he'll buy paper and glass panes, which is honestly great because paper is insanely easy to farm with sugarcane, so this can turn into a solid emerald source fast. He sells maps, item frames, and banners at lower levels, which aren't game-changing, but at higher levels, he starts selling woodland mansion maps and ocean monument maps, which can save you hours of wandering around aimlessly. If you don't want to mindlessly search Minecraft's world for an eternity looking for a woodland mansion, then he's actually super useful. He's not as essential as some of the villagers on this list, but he certainly beats out the Leatherworker or fisherman. The trading hall approves of this guy. Cleric. The cleric is another pretty decent villager with some surprisingly good trades. To get this villager, you'll need a brewing stand placed near. You guessed it, an unemployed villager. Unless you said something different, in which case are you even watching the video? Early on, the cleric will buy rotten flesh from you for emeralds, which is one of the easiest ways to get a decent chunk of emeralds before you start the Minecraft Industrial Revolution. This alone gives this villager a strong use case. As you start to level him up, he'll begin selling redstone, glowstone, lapis lazuli, and even ender pearls. Yeah, you heard that right, ender pearls, meaning you can skip the part where you get bullied by endermen and just buy your way into the end. I love money. If you continue to level him up, he will also sell bottles of enchanting, which is okay, I suppose. Overall, this guy is great for early game emerald farming and convenient resource buys, so he gets the trade hall approved seal. Fletcher. The Fletcher is a pretty solid villager. He has some of the better trades in the game, which hasn't meant a lot, but I mean it, this guy can be pretty useful. His first important trade is that you can sell him sticks in exchange for emeralds, which is one of the easiest and best ways to get emeralds in the early game. He'll also sell you basic arrows at his earliest rank as well, which is pretty useful, and he will sell flint for gravel and 1 emerald. Not bad, considering how annoying it is to turn gravel into flint. At apprentice rank, this guy will even sell you a whole bow for just 2 emeralds. Not too shabby. Going up higher, he will sell you a crossbow and buy your string, but it's not a great deal. But expert and master is where this villager really shines. I mean, come on, enchanted bows and crossbows and tipped arrows, and for actually pretty affordable prices, this guy's amazing. Easily one of the best villagers for sure. Librarian. The Librarian is one of the best villagers in the entire game. Actually, they are just the best. There's no two ways about it. They are able to buy paper, books, INC sacks, and book and quills from you at different ranks, which is actually one of the better appeals of this villager. You can pretty easily turn a sugarcane farm into a massive capitalist paper empire and gain untold wealth in the form of emeralds from these librarians. But that's not even close to the best part of our villager friends here. The real value comes from what they sell. They will try to sell you some trash for not great prices like bookshelves, lanterns, glass compasses, clocks, and name tags. Well, the name tags are also pretty useful. But don't let any of that fool you, for the real value is they sell enchanted books. From mending, unbreaking, efficiency, sharpness. Yeah, if you're looking for reliable enchantments, this guy is your guy. Sure, you'll definitely spend hours re-rolling trades to get the perfect trades, but it will be hours well spent because you will from then onward have virtually infinite enchantments of your choosing right at your fingertips. And he can literally sell enchanted books without ranking up at all. God tier villagers praise the Librarian villager. He or she is beyond us. Mason. Who doesn't love the Mason villager? I mean, he's a staple and an icon. What any good villager should hope to achieve. He also shares my name. So yeah, no bias here. Anyway, this dude will buy clay balls, stone, and nether quartz, which, to be honest, are all decent ways to get some emeralds for fair prices, but not great either, with much better ways to become the capitalist that we all aspire to be from other villagers. On the other hand, he will sell you a variety of blocks like bricks, quartz blocks, terracotta, and even some polished stone variants. If you're into building, this guy can actually save you a ton of time. Instead of smelting and crafting for hours, you can just throw emeralds at the problem. He's a solid utility villager. Not S tier, not useless. Respectable, B tier. And yes, that ranking is completely unbiased. Shepherd. To get this villager, you'll need a loom workstation. The shepherd will buy all kinds of wool and dyes, which means you can definitely make a super humane sheep farm or automatic wool farm that will convert into some of the easiest emeralds of your life. It's technically not the fastest method of getting emeralds, but it's steady and easy to scale. As you level him up, he'll start selling beds, carpets, banners, and even paintings. None of this is game breaking, but if you're into building or decorating, this guy saves you time. And let's be honest, not having to craft 47 carpets manually is kind of nice. He's not going to carry your economy like the farmer or Fletcher, but he's far from useless. A solid mid-tier villager and is definitely better than the Leatherworker. Toolsmith. The toolsmith is a pretty goated villager. To get this stud of a villager, you'll need to get yourself a smithing table and place it next to an unemployed villager. But you should know the drill by now, I hope. Early on, this guy will buy coal, iron, and even flint for emeralds, which to be honest isn't great. These resources take a lot of time to get and is much less efficient than other villagers to get emeralds. But like the other smith villagers, this guy's true power lies in what he sells. As you level him up, he'll start to sell iron tools, and even eventually diamond tools. And at master level, he will get some enchanted diamond pickaxes, axes, and shovels. And yes, that means you can skip the enchantment table grind if you're lucky with the rolls. The trades aren't always perfect, and sometimes the enchantments are questionable, but the ability to straight up buy diamond tools is huge, especially if you've got emerald farms running in the background. Like the other smiths, he is easily one of the best villagers in your trading hall, which I know you have. It's basically unlimited enchanted diamond gear, can't beat that. Weaponsmith. The weaponsmith is exactly what he sounds like. And yes, he's basically just the toolsmith's cousin who sells weapons instead of tools. To get one, just place a grindstone near an unemployed villager. As you level him up, he'll start selling iron swords and axes, and eventually diamond weapons. And at master level, he can sell enchanted diamond swords and axes, which can be absolutely huge if you don't feel like grinding enchantments yourself. He, like the other smiths, is a very powerful villager, as he basically guarantees you unlimited diamond weapons. Nitwit. The Nitwit technically doesn't have any trades, but I just couldn't pass up an opportunity to talk about this guy again. This villager, if you can even call him that, is the literal trash of Minecraft. Not only does he not have any trades, but he is unable to ever get any. He's jobless and will never be able to get one, which makes him useless in every way. Like, it's not like he's some super genius villager entrepreneur, he is just completely useless. I don't even know why Notch added this guy into the game. Beyond F-tier villager. Unemployed villager. The unemployed villager is like the jack of all trades of the villager community. Technically, this guy also doesn't have any trades, but he is the foundation for any of the villager professions. Without this guy, there is no farmer, no librarian, no armorer printing you enchanted diamond gear. He's basically the blank canvas of the village economy. All you have to do is place a job block near him, and suddenly he's discovered his life purpose. Composter, farmer, blast furnace, armorer, fletching table. You get the point. He is the blank canvas to literally every trade from the villager community. Well, except for one guy. The Wandering Trader. The Wandering Trader is the only villager that does not care about your job blocks, your economy, or your trade hall. This guy just shows up unannounced with 2 llamas, blocks your doorway, and tries to sell you sea pickles for 5 emeralds. Unlike normal villagers, he doesn't need a profession block. He just spawns randomly, usually at the worst possible time, and offers you some of the most questionable trades in the entire game. Coral, flowers, nautilus shells, random saplings. Occasionally useful, but most of the time it feels like he's running a traveling scam operation. To be fair, he can sometimes sell rare biome-specific items early game, which can be helpful if you're nowhere near a desert or a jungle. But let's be honest, 90% of the time he exists to test your self-control. Low tier overall, but at least he brings llamas that I don't definitely steal every single time. Zombie curing. Zombie curing is less of a trade and more of an effect, but it affects trading, so I decided to give it a shout. If you let a villager turn into a zombie villager and then cure them using a splash potion of weakness and a golden apple, their trade prices permanently drop. And not just a little bit. We're talking massive discounts. This is how you turn decent villagers into completely broken ones. Farmers selling golden carrots for basically nothing. Librarians giving you top-tier enchanted books at absurd prices. Armorers practically handing out diamond gear. If you're serious about building a trade hall, zombie curing is not optional. It's the meta. Is it super unethical? Yes. Is it profitable? Also, yes. So, you do the math. Village Hero. The hero of the village is another effect, this time a temporary status effect. You get this effect after successfully defending a village from a raid, which means you have to beat waves of villagers and not get completely overwhelmed in the process. Once you win, every villager in that village will temporarily lower their prices. Yes, every villager. It's basically a limited time discount event across your entire trade hall. The higher the level of the raid, the stronger the discount. So if you can handle tougher raids, the rewards are even better.